When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. You know, the more I hear that phrase, I find it troubling. But for some of you, not in the ways you think. But you know, thankfully in the mail, I've been going a long time without this. And if winter is indeed coming, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that vitality, strength, that mental clarity, that focus. The libido part, that takes care of itself. But if you're new to the channel, much love to you. Welcome. But I'm going to need you to fall in with everybody else because I got to get this off my chest. You already see the title of the video. And the reason why I label it as that because there is a condition that is called snow blindness. And the best way I can explain it is, while, in a sense, rightfully so, there are a lot of these chicken heads who are seeing the chickens come to roost. A lot of these gold diggers, sugar babies, insta thoughts, hard-footed harlots, edgeless oracles. You name it, they'll claim it. Karma is a cold piece when it comes to things, how they've been demeaning masculinity, treating men, their sons. Where you recently had a young boy whose life was snatched from him by a demon who birthed him. Situations like that, yeah. Seeing the world changing, winter is indeed coming. It's a phrase that a lot of guys like to parrot, be it the K-Hive or the Defense Force. However, when have you known a natural disaster that was ignorant to both genders? See, when it comes to that winter, as you speak of, I don't think you really pay attention to what's going on, fellas. See, shout out to Rick Ross for saying it. In many ways, you can tell a person is pussy from their conversation. I say that boldly, not as a Marine, not just as a Marine, but we're just keeping it 1 billion. It's a lot of individuals who have not experienced the real world as it is, or some people have lost touch with what's going on. There is that phrase that having a job is just over broke. That is a level of perspective. Excuse me. And I understand it. But it's a whole new world out here. They're moving towards automation. We have a pandemic that's damn near in full swing. We're being bombarded with fear and fail porn. The cost of food and other things are exceedingly high and rising. Civil unrest. This is spiritual warfare just getting started. But getting back to the message, when we talk about snow blindness, this is what happens when you experience temporary pain and discomfort after exposure to too much ultraviolet lights. Out in the sun when you're just looking out there when you're not supposed to. Which, again, I look at individuals who claim to be red pill in cyberspace. You claim to have seen the light of female nature or just the world as you believe it, but unfortunately, what you've shown the world in spite of yourselves is your affinity for punani politics, your lust for internet mandingo fights. And I've said this before, alongside my brothers on a podcast. Some of you have a fetish of being Baphomet's bottom. And you can take that for what you will. Now, you're right. Half right. Winter is indeed coming. But let's ask ourselves a few questions. Are we prepared for winter? Not just in what you're going to wear, but are you prepared mentally, spiritually, socially, physically for the elements that are coming? See, a lot of guys tend to miss out that they think, okay, yeah, I'm going to sit back and, have a shit-eating grin watching a lot of these chicken heads suffer. I agree with Kid Organic. They're really not going to suffer not that much. There's far too many Jonathans to feast off of. See, when you say winter is coming, and you're saying that in the pursuit of cockeyed retribution, because she wouldn't play with your dick under the table, because she wouldn't be your little personal fetish, because again, if you listen to a lot of these panel possums go on and off about these things that a lot of chicken heads do, you start to see a repetitive pattern. But here's what you're not looking at. Out here, the way things are being sculpted, where you see these eviction moratoriums being toyed with, lifted, not to mention the utilities. Don't be surprised if you see the rise of the water barons. That's just my personal opinion, but I'm going to leave that there. What you individuals complain the most about, they don't let us lead. They don't listen to us. Ad infinitum. What happens when you get what you've been asking for? An opportunity to either lead individuals into the light, or as you see in the thumbnail, out into the wilderness, snowblind. Your vision obscured. And see, there's far too many of us who live on the backwards value system. And at the top, or at the bottom of it, so to speak, when you lack spiritual foundation, everything you see, think, do, and believe is a lie. There's far too many conflict creators living lies in real time, believing that they're on the top of the world when really they're underneath the basement, clapping their feet, twerking online, hopefully figuratively, under this illusion that they got it all together. Yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Same individuals who will piss in your face and have the unmitigated gall to demand payment for something you didn't ask for, insulting your intelligence, showcasing depreciating assets with a highly corrosive spirit, a mindset, that black pit they call the soul. These individuals who mainly spouting winter is coming. But what say you when it hits you? What happens when your internet access is limited or shut off? You mean your pulse to the world, as you say. You see that flick of the switch and that light not coming on. Or you hear that sound with your heat being turned off. Turn the sink, nothing coming out. Shit like that hits a little different. You can literally feel that in the pit of your stomach. It's like you're trying to swallow a bowling ball, that lump in your throat. Because shit just started to get real. What happens with all that cyberspace capping you've been doing? How are you going to get food? Let's just say supplies are limited. You didn't take care of business because you were too busy spending time online, 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Wasting time and resources, complaining about the very thing that you say you hate. So what about when it comes to family? The very people either you've ostracized or they've ostracized themselves from you to save themselves. And when you need them the most, all you get is a dial tone. Or you prayed, you never picked up the phone when you talk to them. You get the real conversation about yourself. When your dwelling is compromised, when you step outside that door, you turn around and you see that piece of paper, that eviction notice. Or you look in the mail, you see them bills, you see that red marking on there, you know what time it is. Or maybe when you getting ready to slide out there and get ready to hit that ATM so you can go either the strip club or meet that insta thought that told you, like, you know what, bring a money order, or stop by and bring me some money so I can get some food for my kids or whatever. And by the time you get outside, you see your car being towed away. Things like that has happened to many of us. But see, why you're so drunk off this decadence you believe you have, a lot of you guys are missing the point. A lot of you guys don't have direction. You don't have leadership skills, social skills, emotional intelligence. Some of you guys have been crippled by being excessively coddled, be it one or two parents. I always say, it takes a pussy to expose or control one. And far too many individuals need a diaper change. This isn't a ongoing rant. This is just keeping it 1 billion with you guys out here. Who applies to? Do you know how to defend yourself? Do you own any means of protection? Who do you know around your neighborhood, and why? Are they reliable? Because trust is a currency. But a lot of you have not been able to establish that. Some of you are not even safe in your own houses. Can't call them homes because that's a whole different environment. Because you're in a relationship with either someone you've married who's long divorced you at the altar, or you're in a situation where you're trying to turn your house into a rest haven for wayward hoes when you're the biggest one. Unbeknownst to you that you're in danger. Either she's going to put something in your food, your drink, or she's going to stress you to an aneurysm. Not just her. It might be your children that you don't appreciate. The ones you don't fight for. The ones you openly embarrass by your antics both day and night. how you live your lie or lies. See, there's a reason why brothers like myself don't focus on punani politics. In many cases, it's a waste of time. There's far more important things to deal with. And this is a Marine Corps veteran telling you, dealing with PTSD and a massive accumulated injuries, sleep apnea, and clinical depression. Person, I had to drink a fifth of fuck it every day just to even entertain half the goofiness I see online and off. But it goes further than that. You see, in my profession as an Uber driver, you see the world that most people don't want to look at. How will it feel for you to lose everything to the point where your associates, your bachelor's, or whatever doctorate cannot land you a job? And as you question yourself, are you still a man? Who am I? What am I about? What happens to the same people you step over? The favors return to you. What happens when you got to figure out that you are ignorant to your natural fight or flight instincts, when you really had to get out there and make things happen, make things shake for yourself? The cold reality is there's a lot of you guys who are built to be food or worse. But since this is a solution-oriented channel, along with a number of others, this is the time to really seriously look at your environment. Reassess who you are, where you are. Get your bearings right. Get yourself on point. Attune your focus to fixing here and here, the two most important real estates. Because I'll say to my peers, some of the hardest real estate to own and maintain is our bullshit. We love to play accountability dodgeball. She did this to me. He did this to me. This person did this to me. Cool. We get it. There are plenty of people who have screwed me over. And some people I wish some very ill things to, just to be honest. But that's something I'm working on. The thing is, we got to own up is, while they were allowed to act up, and I do stress the word allowed, that was under our watch. We weren't on our square. We had to take the onus of falling in love with the image or the perception we viewed that they should be to us, not who they were in real time. We were the gluttons for punishment. We refused to accept reality for what it was. I'm talking to you, Cypher. That's a spirit you have to exercise from yourself. Because yeah, you're right, winter is coming. But think about the massive evictions that are possible down the pike. Think about the financial hardships set to come. And all you individuals who have these trumped up beliefs in certain things. What happens when those bubbles burst? What are your contingency plans? Now, I admit I'm not no financial expert. I do have faith, though. I will exercise my foresight like many others like myself. But this is a call to action to my brothers out here. We have to unfuck ourselves. We have to. It's literally a matter of life and death. Do not lie yourself to remain snowblind, since you're praising the coming of winter. Because you're going to have to ask yourself, was it worth it? When you find yourself financially frostbitten. You see, I've dealt with hypothermia. Blacked out, woke up a day and a half later. It's not a feeling I really wish on anybody, but again, on this scale, we're talking about in life when we're dealing with a pandemic. If you deal with that kind of hypothermia on a figurative scale, who knows if you're going to make it out of that. We got to get our priorities together, brothers, whether we get along or not. We got to continue to pursue black male agency, making sure that we matter, making sure we take care of business and ourselves and each other as best as possible. Because yeah, you're half right. Winter is coming. Sure is. You better protect your nuts. Because with all this coming out here, we are all going to be tested. We're going to see who's who. I can guarantee that. As always, never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. And fellas, be careful. Be careful what you wish for, fellas. Because if you're melanated and you look like me, but you don't think similar to me, you guys are in for a rude awakening. Let's square ourselves away. With that, you already know the deal is. Semper Fi.